Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, they describe that when Lord came back from Gaya, his ecstatic sankirtans began. Entire day, from morning till evening, they'll do sankirtan. They'll be out on the street, all the devotees, headed by Mahaprabhu. Can you imagine Mahaprabhu leading the kirtan party? He's singing, and then we have Nityananda Prabhu dancing, Advaita Acharya dancing, and we have maybe 10-15 Mridanga players, that too all experts, Kartal players, experts. And we have personalities, maybe personality like Vakreshwar Pandit dancing. So you can imagine what sort of kirtan that will be. In each and every devotee who was part of that kirtan, on the street, they are so happy all the time. To an extent that they never wanted that kirtan to stop. And when the sun would set, the devotees would look at the sun as if they'll burn the sun. How dare you setting? Because your setting means Sankirtan setting. Means we have to stop Sankirtan, we have to go to rest. So understanding the mood of all the devotees, one day, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he said, "Why are we wasting time at night by sleeping?" I don't think you all will say Haribol for this. But you know what? All the devotees there, they were so ecstatic. They were knowing something wonderful is going to come out now. So Mahaprabhu said, in the daytime we are doing Sankirtan. Let's not waste our time at night by sleeping. Full night, let's do Sankirtan. And everyone said, I know it's for them, not for I know that. So they were all ecstatic. And from that time onwards, nocturnal Sankirtan began. But for this nocturnal Sankirtan, Nagar Sankirtan everyone was allowed. But nocturnal Sankirtans, there was a pass that was needed. And that pass, only when you show that pass at the gate to Srivas Thakur, then you'll be allowed. And that pass was sanctioned by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gauranga Mahaprabhu would give the pass. And who would receive that pass? Only close associates of the Lord, who are all pure devotees, exalted souls. Only they were allowed. And as soon as, and every time, the count would remain constant. Every evening, the count would remain constant. So all the participants would come on time. I don't know, maybe 6 o'clock, FOE. On time they would come. And then doors are closed, windows are closed. No one allowed after that. And then Sankirtan would start. You can imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jumping and dancing. And all the devotees there absorbed in Kirtan, hearing the holy names, crying tears, ecstatic. In this way, Sankirtan would happen. Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Pratidina Nisha Bhage Kare Kirtan Bhakta Vino Thakite Na Paya Anyajan. Every day this Kirtan would happen. But no one else apart from devotees was allowed inside. So see, as soon as there's something like this happening, there'll be people around speaking about it. ये क्या करते हैं अंदर ये लोग? What these people are doing? So like that, some people started speaking. There were two groups of people who started speaking. First group, Vrindavan Das Thakur is describing. अगोचरे दूरे ठाकी मिली दश पांचे मंद मात्र बले जम घरे जाचे पाछे. They said 5-10 people would come together distance and they would all speak, क्या कर रहे हैं लोग अंदर? And now, since you don't know what's happening, so it's a natural human tendency to speak bad about them. They started talking bad about them. पक्का ये लोग dash 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 कर रहे होंगे. Why the windows are closed? Why the doors are closed? के बोले कली काले किशोर वैष्णव. In Kali Yuga, anyways, what sort of Vaishnavas are available? There is no proper Vaishnava available in Kali Yuga. Jata dekha hera petha posha gula sab. So here it is said, these people all inside, oh, we know them. They're all working just to fill their bellies. No Vaishnava and all. Kali Yuga, there is no question of Vaishnava. They're all sure. Keha bale e gulara बांधी हाथ पाए जले फैली दिए जदी तबे दुख जाए. अगर मेरा बस चले ना, one of them said, अगर मेरा बस चले इनके हाथ पे बांध दूंगा मैं. I'll tie their hands and legs. And what will you do tying their hands and legs? Say if someone is asking, I'll throw them in the water. What will you get by doing that? All my dukkha will go away. What was the dukkha that they had? Why we are not allowed inside? Why we are not allowed inside? अगर हमें नहीं मिल सकता तो किसी को नहीं मिलना चाहिए. मारो इन लोग को. Are you able to relate with the feelings? Okay. And these people, देखिए ऐसे जोर जोर से साइड में बोल के क्या फायदा? You want to enter inside. You're supposed to do something for it. Sometimes भयो देखा जे न सबे देखी बार तारे अंतरे नहीं का भाग्य चातुर्य की करे. Sometimes ऐसे चपड़ चपड़ करके they're not happy. Then they would come and they would threaten the devotees. Hey, अंदर जाने दे. But then क्या करे? They were not allowed. They were not allowed. Tell me, in spiritual life, can you get anything by force? कुछ भी कर लो. You cannot get anything by force. Not possible. Not possible at all. Our skills, our talents, our plans, nothing works. Nothing works in Krishna consciousness to attract the mercy as such. By force we cannot. We cannot say, बाहर इतना लोग respect करते हैं मुझे, इधर मुझे mercy मिलना ही चाहिए. No, sorry. Krishna would laugh. Tu bahar hi rahe. Don't come inside. One of our devotees, so one of the Matajis, she was sharing her personal experience. Senior Mataji in the congregation. So she left her job and now she's serving in our temple. So very, very talented. She was in a big profile in her corporate job also. So she gave up that just to serve as a full time in the temple. And she is doing similar activity, what she was doing in the corporate, same thing she is doing here also. Something related to marketing and donations and all that. So Mataji was sharing, so I was just encouraging Mataji, you are so good, in your corporate. Here also you can do the same. So she said, bro, my personal realization is, in the realm of Krishna consciousness, all that I was doing outside doesn't work here. I'm trying to do the same thing, but it doesn't work here. It's all in the hands of Krishna. Personal experience of a devotee. So by force, kuch nahi kar sakte hum Krishna consciousness. Nothing we can do. Because in Krishna consciousness, it's all about a game of mercy. Yes, it's a game of mercy. You'll be able to cross level after level in this game and finally reach the ultimate destination. Only when at every level you receive mercy. Without that, one cannot. Therefore, if at all we want to advance in bhakti, if at all we want to participate in the nocturnal kirtans of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you want to participate? आईने में मुंह देखो जाके आप हरि बोल. Yes, we all have the desire to participate in the Lord's pastime, assist the Lord, but for that, we need qualification. And for that, we need mercy. And for that, we have to serve the Lord just to give pleasure to the Lord and not force ourselves to get something in Krishna consciousness. Very, very important. Very, very important. ऐसे बोल ही नहीं सकते हम लोग कि मैं पूरा दिन सेवा किया हूं, therefore I should receive mercy. No. So the mood is, full day I'll do service in the mood to give pleasure to Krishna. Krishna, whatever he wants, let him do with me. No problem. I am Krishna's servant. I am Krishna Das. I am servant of Krishna. I will serve Krishna for his pleasure. Bas. This is the mode with which a devotee can receive mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, not possible. Not possible at all. अब इनको कौन समझाए? Now these people are not sitting in my class, so I cannot explain all this. So all these people, they were trying to force. Chodo andar. And devotees were like, nah, not allowed. So this was one group of people who are like rogues who wanted to just enter, barge in with force. But there was another group of people, pious souls. They had a different feeling. देखिते न पाय लोक करे अनुताप सबाय भाग्य बलि छाड़े निश्वास. So there was some group of people, they would lament. Oh, हम तो कीर्तन देख ही नहीं पा रहे अंदर जो हो रहा है. We are not able to see the kirtan that is happening inside. And they would all breathe heavily. I'm so unfortunate. We are so unfortunate that we are not able to see that kirtan. We are not able to see that kirtan. So these people also, it's not that they would just discuss among themselves and describe their misfortune. They would also go to devotees. But there, they would not say, अंदर आने दे. उनका अलग था. अंदर आने दीजिए ना. केहवा कहारो भाई परिहार करे संगो पे संकीर्तन गया देखी बार तारे. So they would request devotees, can you please allow me inside? Secretly, I'll want to watch kirtan. Please allow me. And devotees wanted to allow. ऐसा नहीं कि devotees did not, because these people were so nice, they were so pure, they were so pious. But all of them, they had one fear in the heart. Prabhu says Sarvagya. Our Prabhu is Sarvagya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knows everything. He'll know everything, even if we do things hidingly. Therefore they are saying, Prabhu says Sarvagya iha, Sarvada se jane. All the servants, all the devotees knew that our Lord is Sarvagya. Ei bhay kehakare nalaya se sthane. With this fear, they would not take anyone inside. They might say, Hare Krishna, hum andar nahi le sakte aapko. Our Prabhu knows everything. Even if we get you inside and keep you hidden somewhere, our Prabhu will get to know. He'll become angry. No, please. Don't force us. We'll not be able to take you. See, one thing that you note here very properly is, see, a person who has this realization that Lord knows everything, he cannot do any incorrect activity. Very simple. Here all devotees are knowing our Lord knows everything. He will know everything that we are doing. He knows everything that we are thinking also. So we don't want to think to take you inside. Lord will get to know. So just because of that, they are not taking anyone inside, you see. A very important thing, a very, very important thing. So what makes a person do forbidden activities, sinful activities? Ignorance. And the product of that is anarthas like greed, ignorance, avidya. Since the person is in ignorance, you know what happens? The person does not realize he galat hai. He justifies ki kaise sahi hai. Very unfortunate. Therefore, we have to make sure that we come to the point of realizing at least this fact, at least theoretically, that Lord knows everything. He is seeing everything. And let me not do any activity which is in the category of forbidden activities, sinful activities. Because everything is noted. And see, Lord's entire administration is so wonderful, the universal administration. It's not just Lord as Paramatma seeing. There are other entities whom Lord has put. if I'm not wrong, the 13 in number, 1 3. Sun, air, water, all those personalities Lord has put in सब पे देखते रहो. केवल आप पे नहीं, मतलब everyone is सब पे देखते रहो. Keep a watch on all these people. And anything that they do which is forbidden according to Shastra, make a note. फिर देखते हैं. कहाँ देखेंगे? We know which place. और कौन ले जाएगा वहां? We know who they are. The Yamaduts will come and take us to that place which is very, very dangerous, very, very horrible. And there, on a big LED wall, I've heard, I've not gone yet. A big LED wall. In that, the show will start. And that show, the hero will be only all of us. Yes. Pura show. And there they'll point, see, तूने ये किया था. मारो इसको. ये किया था. पीटो. ये. They'll point. Therefore, it's very important to realize that we should note this point that someone is noting about our activities. Only those who are foolish, they would say, अरे किसने देखा है कि कोई देख रहा है? जिसने देखा है उसने कहा है, लिखा हुआ, it's already there. It's already there in the Shastra. But the problem is because of the avidya, because of ignorance, people don't get faith in Shastra. Very unfortunate. And our job as preachers is, first we have to make sure our faith becomes strong on Shastra, we follow things properly, and imbibe that faith, induce that faith in others so that they can lead a dharmic life and not get into some sinful life where they have to suffer for sure. They have to suffer. So in this way, there were group of people who wanted to just barge in the house of Srivas Thakur, and there were some others who were requesting, please allow us, please allow us. In either case, devotees were not allowing anyone. But there was one exception. Eka brahmachari say, navadvipe vaise, tapasvi param sadhu vase nirdoshe. There was one brahmachari in Navadvip. I'm sure there will be many brahmacharis, but there's one brahmachari's description that is given. There's one brahmachari. What was his qualification? What were the qualities? Tapasvi. He was very austere. Tapasvi. Parama sadhu, he was very saintly. He had amazing qualities. And then nirdosha, faultless, sinless personality he was. And one very important point that is mentioned by Vrindavan Thakur about him is Sarva kala payapana anna nai khaya prabhura kirtana vipra dekhi bare chaya. The speciality of this brahmachari was he would drink milk only. Some of you might say, Usme I also drink. But only word is very important. Only. So he would not take any grains. He would not take any grains. Only milk. And then Saraswati Thakur, he writes, and mangoes also sometimes, maybe. Fruits basically. Fruits and milk. So can you imagine this person? Such an austere person. Do you think it's easy just to take milk and fruits every day?
I haven't tried.
Huh?
I can't try.
Try and see. And you can tell me how it feels. Then I'll include that in the class also. See, one point to note, we might think, my God, this austere, so faultless. Looks like some great soul. But for your information, according to Shastra, every single person who is there in the community, in the Vedic realm or Varnashrama, that person is expected to be like this. Some level of austerity, if not this level of austerity. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 11th canto, Krishna is telling Uddhava. This comes in 11th canto, chapter 17, shloka 20 and 21. In shloka 20, Krishna is telling that when a person is there in Varnashrama, which qualities he shouldn't have? Or he is putting it as, that person is outside Varnashrama. That person who is outcast. Outcast means uncultured, untouchable. That category of people. So what are their characteristics? Krishna is listing down. Please repeat. Ashaucham anrityam stheyam नास्तिक्यं शुष्क विग्रह काम क्रोधश्च तर्षश्च स्वभावोऽन्त्यवसायिना ashaucham. So those people are dirty. Second, anrityam, anritam, they're dishonest. We're talking about those who are outcast, who are uncultured. Let me put it like this: uncultured, uncivilized, unclean, dishonesty. Steyam, thievery. They'll get into thievery. Nastikyam, they're faithless. They don't have faith on Shastra. Shushka vigraha, they'll get into useless quarreling. Kamaha, they're lusty. Krodhaha, they get angry. Tarshaha, they have material hankerings, greed. These are the different qualities of a person who is uncultured, uncivilized. What do you say about it? We are cultured, uncultured. आप लोग बोले प्रभु जी आप अपना बात कीजिए हमें don't talk about us. Actually, these are very, very important qualities. See, ऐसे बोल सकते हैं कि maybe Krishna is just highlighting some little thing. If it was some little thing and not that important, Krishna would not repeat this point. So 11, 17, 20, he's saying this. 11, 17, 21, again he repeats in a positive connotation. Please repeat. Ahimsa satyam astheyam akama krodha lobhata bhuta priya hitehacha dharmoyam sarvavarnikah. Now Krishna is telling those people who are cultured, what are their qualities? Firstly, he talked about uncultured, uncivilized ones. Now he's talking about civilized, cultured people. What are their qualities? Ahimsa, they are non-violent. Satyam, they always speak truth. Astheyam, they are honest. Akama, krodha, lobhata, they are free from lusty desires, anger and greed. They are free from this. Bhuta priya hiteha, they desire welfare of everyone. They desire happiness for everyone. So these are the qualities of a person who is civilized. Now see, it's a very important point to note that as soon as we talk about these qualities, very unfortunate and immature way, sometimes devotees dismiss saying, if you chant 16 rounds, all these things are not needed. And because of that, we see that in the community of devotees, in the community of Vaishnavas, chaos takes place. There are unfortunate incidences that takes place. A nice purport, it says, the word Sarva Varnika indicates that the above mentioned principles constitute general piety. It's not something great. So nice, so truthful. Arey Baba, you also have to be truthful. You also have to be, like this, clean. So this is not some great, see here it is general piety. General qualities everyone should have, which should be observed by all members of society. This point is nice. Even those outside Varnashrama system, even the ones who are uncultured, they also should have these qualities. We practically find that even in societies that have fallen away from Varnashrama system, the above mentioned principles are honored and encouraged. See, we as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we have the best of the best philosophy, topmost philosophy. When it comes to theology, that's enormous that we have, enormous. But even then, many times people have asked this question to me. Even then, why is it that the number of people that come to our programs is comparatively less, to a great extent less as compared to those going to other faiths or other organizations? Why? This is the question that is asked. See, one point to note is, people in general, they'll not be able to appreciate your 16 rounds. If they sit with you to chant 16 rounds, they'll surely not appreciate. In that way we chant. But then, if at all, we just tell them, नहीं हम लोग ये सब तो पालन नहीं करते लेकिन हम 16 माला करते हैं. We follow 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. But you know what? Outside people, first thing that they see is the externals of the person or the character of the person. So when they find, oh, this person is wearing dhoti kurta tilak, but he is lying, he is not truthful, they get annoyed. There were sometimes when devotees go out for book distribution and they speak some nonsense. Free, and then you give paise do abhi. So there have been times when people have caught our devotees saying, why are you lying? Why are you lying? And they've chastised our devotees. Even in the community of devotees, you know what happens when some newcomer comes and when he is practicing bhakti, and then there is some bitter exchanges that takes place with other devotee. So when the speech of the person is already practicing from a long time, if that is not proper, if that is dishonest, if there is no truth in that, and there's so many other nonsensical things, the person who has just come, he loses the faith and he leaves. There are many cases like this. Many cases. I can go on speaking about these cases. And then there are times when there are so-called devotees who steal money of Krishna and run away. Steal money and run away. Sometimes there are cases where in the community, in the circle of devotees, there are illicit sexual activity taking place. Rare, but it is there. Rare, but it is there. Why? Because people feel that ये सब तो क्यों? ये सब हमें क्यों चाहिए? Why this cleanliness is needed? Why truthfulness? Why honesty? Why all this is needed? But the fact is, these are basic. Without this, we cannot advance in bhakti. But no, not much is spoken about this in Shuddha Bhakti platform. Because it is expected that you are already there at this platform. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is not talking about don't have sex with your mother and sister, which is spoken in other faith books. Yes. Why it is not spoken? But it is understood that you will never get into such activities. Similarly, these things are not explicitly given or explicitly spoken by our acharyas when they speak about Shuddha Bhakti, because they assume that you are already following this. And just because they know that we are such rogues and people in ignorance, and we will assume that ye sab zarurat nahi hai. Therefore, personalities like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they elaborately describe. They say, I was very shocked to hear this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that not speaking truth is equivalent to illicit sex and theft. The sin that the person gets by having illicit sex, premarital, extramarital affair or prostitution or whatever you call it as, illicit sex, and the sin that the person gets for stealing, cheating, all that same sin is given to a person, to the one who speaks untruth, the one who speaks lies. And they're equating these two. So you can imagine how much our acharyas are speaking. But problem is, हम लोग पढ़ते नहीं, तो हमें पता नहीं है. हमसे बोलते हैं chant 16 rounds, be happy. But then it's very important that these things have to be followed. So what are the things that should be followed? I again repeat. We'll put it in the positive connotation. That if we want to practice bhakti and advance and attain Shuddha Bhakti platform, then these are the basic things that we need to follow. First, we should remain clean. Clean matlab clean. Every day take bath, shave your face, and wear clean clothes, keep your surrounding clean, etc. And this is what will attract outsiders also. Just imagine if you keep the place very clean. And if you are very clean shaved, naturally when you clean shaved, the person looks nice. It's not that by having a lot of beard you look beautiful. You look nonsense when you have beard. Yes. You look some hippie. Yes. So there is no way I said beard, I said out there. Devotees also have seen nonsense. This is nonsense. Clean shaved. No, and with proper tilak, that shows, okay, so wonderful, you are cultured ones. And then when you have all this, you'll see people outside will get attracted. Naturally, they'll get attracted. They'll see, oh, these people are so nice, they're always clean. See the entire temple is so clean, spick and span. They'll appreciate. They're not seeing what inside you're doing. Maybe you're chanting 16 rounds, you're doing Nirjal on Ekadashi. No one gets to know all that. But these things people will observe first. Yes, cleanliness. Second, honesty. One has to be honest. Always one has to speak the truth. Never should happen that someone from outside points towards us and says, what sort of people they are? Ye to jhoot bolte. then such people will never come to bhakti, The one who has this experience of some sadhaka lying to them, they never come to bhakti. Theft, come on. Don't steal anything. Don't steal anything. Yes. Faithless, someone should be faithful. Faithful on Shastra. One shouldn't get into useless quarrel. Even out on the street when we are there preaching, one shouldn't get into just some nonsensical debates with someone and start fighting with them. No. We should be like sober. Only halo should be missing, that's it. We're like that. Some sage on the street. One shouldn't be lusty. What's the point of wearing dhoti kurta tilak and then you're going out on the street and then you're scanning a lady who is half naked? What's the point? What's the point of your attire? So one should not be lusty. If we are lusty, no problem. With time it will go away, but at least we should avoid such activities. Anger, we will get angry, but we have the ways to control it. One of the important ways is just keep your mouth shut when you're angry. And I appreciate all my students who help me to control my anger. That's the time when I just keep my mouth shut and don't look at the face of the person, or else I'll cut their head into pieces. Yes, so just chant. So we can just imagine if someone becomes angry. I'm sure some of you might have had this experience. Family members say, "Ye sikhate ISKCON wale tumhe." They expect that we already reached Krishna Prem and we are seeing Leelas of Krishna. That is, as soon as you wear dhoti kurta tilak, this is what people expect from you. That you're already there on this platform. Or if chamat bhi bajayenge, you'll keep quiet. So that's the thing. Hankering for material things. People observe. When we are wearing dhoti kurta and we are calling ourselves devotees, they observe that how much material hankerings he has. I can go on speaking on this topic, but I am sure the point is clear. That the basic things are these. These are the basic things which we have to inculcate in us. And this itself, even if you're not a pure devotee, this itself, if you follow properly, I can give you in writing if you want. Lakhs of people will run towards our ISKCON centers if this much is followed properly. And on to that, yes, we have to follow nice devotional service as all of us are trying to do. So this brahmachari, milk drinking brahmachari, he had these qualities. That's the point that I'm trying to make. But nothing special about it because everyone is expected to have these qualities. So now this brahmachari, he went to Srivas Thakur. What was the request of brahmachari to Srivas Thakur? Sei vipra pratidina Srivasera sthane nritya dekhi bar lagi sadhya apane. So he's saying that every day this brahmachari would go to Srivas Thakur. Please allow me. Please allow me. I want to see the dance. I want to see the nice kirtan that is taking place inside. Please allow me. And Srivas Thakur, my Prabhu knows everything. No. So every day this was happening. But finally, see, devotees are very merciful. Ek cheez 10 baar puchenge, to finally they would sanction. Yes. So this devotee or this brahmachari, since he was going every day, so finally he spoke one day to Srivas Thakur. Very intensely. He said, Tumi jadi eka dina kripa kara more. One day you show mercy on him. One day. Apane laya jaha badira bhitare. Please take me inside your house. One day, please shower your mercy. Please. Then he says, so he says Srivas Thakur is asking this question. Okay, if I allow you, what will you do inside? He's saying, Tabe se dekhite paya panditere mritya. I'll be able to see Nimai Pandit dancing. I want to see that dance. Lochana safala karo higher krita kritya. My eyes will be successful. They will attain great success if I am able to witness that beautiful dance of Nimai. Now, since this was happening every day, and since now this person was so intense, he was saying, Kripa karo. And Vaishnavas are very merciful. Yes. Srivas Thakur, he spoke. Tumare ta jani sarva kala bada bhala brahmacharye falahare Gonaila Kala. Oh, you're such a good person. And you're strictly observing celibacy, brahmacharya, and you're just eating fruits. Srivas Thakur didn't mention about milk. It's understood. You're eating fruits. Oh, you're such a wonderful devotee. You're such a wonderful person. Kona papa nahi jani, tumara sharire. And you are sinless. This is the point that I was trying to make. It was very natural. People knew this is what is the qualities expected, and this brahmachari has these qualities. You're sinless. Dekhi bara tumarat ache adhikare. But there was little fault in what Srivas Thakur said. Maybe this was orchestrated by Lord himself. He's saying, since your body is free from sin, therefore you are certainly qualified to see the kirtan. Oh, this was the point that was made. So therefore it's very important to note that to remain sinless is very, very important. If you are sinless, then you can build onto that Krishna consciousness. Now it does not mean that sinful people cannot do bhakti. Sinful people can begin bhakti. But if you want to advance in bhakti, you have to give up sin. Sin should go zero. दोनों साथ में नहीं हो सकता है. Yesterday one boy was asking me that, प्रभु जी भगवान तो पतित पावन है ना, पतितों का उद्धार करेंगे. So what does that mean? You continue doing sinful activities and Krishna will pat your back saying, very nice, come, we'll go to Golok. If that is the case, why Krishna gives punishment by sending people to hell? If the meaning of Patita Pavan is that. Patita Pavan means, one of the meanings is that he will not see whatever you have done in the past. How much ever Patit you were, he will not see. After you start practicing bhakti, before that, whatever you were, Krishna will not see. Now what you are doing, he sees. He sees. And based on that, he showers the mercy. Very important point. Therefore, being sinless is very, very important. Very, very important. So at this point, Srivas Thakur, he said, Prabhura se agya nahi, keh jai bare, sango pe thaki bae, balilon tumare. See, Lord has instructed us, I'll tell you a secret. Lord has instructed us not to allow anyone inside for kirtan. But still, I'll take you. Secretly. But you have to stay hidden. Hide in one place. I'll give you the place. So stay hidden. So at this point, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he's commenting. He says, milk drinking brahmachari. So as soon as it is a milk drinking brahmachari, it means only milk. Milk drinking brahmachari had no qualification to hear the Lord chanting despite possessing a sinless body. Sinlessness is basic, is very basic. And on to that, we need qualification to receive Lord's mercy. Remember this carefully. Remember this very, very nicely. It's not that being sinless we'll receive the mercy. We have to be sinless, and on to that we have to do devotional service to receive mercy of the Lord. But here in the entire thing you see, Saraswati Thakur is very clear that this brahmachari shouldn't be allowed. Because he is sinless, but then he is not qualified when it comes to the realm of devotional service. But Srivas Thakur is allowing. I was just thinking, even when we are not qualified, only a devotee can push us towards Krishna. Only a devotee can tell, oh Lord, please bless him. He's such a nice boy. And Krishna would be thinking, you just know him when he comes on Saturdays. You don't know the entire week what he does. I know. I know. Actually, it's only devotees who can push us closer to Krishna. Only they can pray and recommend our name to Krishna. Even if we are the most fallen, still Krishna will shower his mercy, and by his mercy we'll be able to advance. So devotees have the power to pray for us. Devotees have the power to bless us. And that will attract Krishna's mercy. That will begin a person's Krishna consciousness. All of us, if we are sitting here today and we are discussing some very heavy subject matter, only because some devotee in some lifetime has prayed for us. And that's how we began our Krishna consciousness. And even in this life, if we are sitting, here and we want to intensify our Krishna consciousness, if that is the mode, then it's because some devotee is praying for us every day. Therefore, this is happening. Without that, we cannot. By our own qualification, we cannot. Not possible. Someone has to recommend our name to Krishna because we have been patit all the time. And here we understand very nicely that Srivas Thakur, he said, Koi baat nahi, come. Yes. Srila Prabhupada also told his disciples, if I'm not wrong, and it was only meant for his disciples, not everyone. I will give you a backdoor entry. Yes. I'll give you a backdoor entry. That was meant for those disciples who were slogging so much for the mission. Not for anyone and everyone like us. Sometimes people say, Prabhuji, koi baat nahi. Prabhupada will take us through back door. Back door is closed. Back door is closed. It was meant only for Prabhupada's disciples because they slogged. Actually, Prabhupada's disciples, they slogged so much. They sacrificed so much. And they pleased Prabhupada so much that Prabhupada said, no problem, I'll take you through back door. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं उनके लेवल पे? If you compare us and Prabhupada's disciples at that time, what they did, we are nothing in front of them. Nothing. But हमें backdoor entry चाहिए. पिटाई होगी, पिटाई. Backdoor में जाओ, पिटाई होगी. Krishna. So in this way, Srivas Thakur, he took him inside and he hid him in one corner. He might have told, see, don't speak anything and don't go in ecstasy. चुपचाप कोने में बैठो. Stay hiding. Stay hidden. So now maybe he got him first. He was the first one to come. Then he was hidden there. And then all devotees started coming. Lord Chaitanya came. Nityananda Prabhu came. Everyone came. And then doors were locked, windows were locked, and the kirtan started. And they all now started singing. Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Vana Mali. These were the names that they were singing. Krishna, Rama, Mukunda, Murari, Vanamali, they are all singing and dancing. Sabe mili gaya hai mahakutuhali. All of them were ecstatic when they were singing. So when the kirtan goes in ecstasy, devotees dance will go also in ecstasy. So at that time Nityananda Prabhu and Gadadhar came and they held each other's hand and started twirling around. And now in great ecstasy, Advaita Acharya, he started roaring and running in the entire place. I don't know if brahmachari was saying, I don't know, I'm just speculating. So Advaita was running in the entire place out of ecstasy. Sometimes it happens, in our kirtans also devotees run around. And at this point, when Lord was also dancing ecstatically, everyone was ecstatic. Everyone was ecstatic. We cannot estimate the happiness. We cannot quantify the happiness that these personalities were having or experiencing when they were looking or witnessing the dance of the Lord, the kirtan, and they themselves were participants in that. And all glories to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. If he wouldn't have described what was happening inside, we people from outside, how will we ever understand what it is? Yes. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, he says, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has audio and video both. So video is presenting. Now he talks about audio also. Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, bhai, iha bhai, yaar kichu, shunite na paye. Kuch aur sunai nahi de raha tha. Only thing that was audible was Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. This was audible. So you can imagine in that ecstasy that bichara brahmachari was hiding. He might be because when I read, I try to be in the shoes of the person, trying to understand what will be his mood. And then he wants to get up, but then he cannot get up. He's sitting like, I'll sit. We see, it's not easy. We have seen even newcomers, when they see some ecstatic kirtan, somehow their hands and legs move, they also start chanting. And here, this brahmachari was so eager to see the dance. And he's sitting there, and everyone is saying Hari Bol, Hari Bol. The entire hall is filled with Hari Bol, but he cannot speak anything. And what all things are there? What other things were witnessed? Ashru Kampalo Maharsha. Sangahana Onkara Ki Kahite Pare Vishwam Bhare Ravikara Who can describe the ecstatic symptoms that Vishwambhar was experiencing, Lord Gauranga was experiencing? Ashru, tears were flowing. हमारे ऐसे नहीं, वो दो तीन ऐसे वहां के ऐसे करते रहते. Continuous tears. You cannot wipe those tears. Continuous tears. Kampa. He was trembling. His body was trembling. Loma Harsha. His hair was standing on end. And Hunkara was loudly roaring. Loudly roaring. Sometimes, in the kirtan, whenever devotees loudly shout. So I used to be a little this one. Why these people are shouting? And after reading all this, then okay, it's in parampara. It's okay. Yes, it's in parampara. So in this way, the kirtan was going on. Okay, question to all of you. Was Lord knowing that there is another person hiding in the place?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
So Lord was knowing. But then, look at Lord. Rahiya rahiya bole Prabhu Vishwambhar Aji ke na prema yoga na paya nirbhar. Again and again he'll stop the dance and kirtan. Hey, wait. Today I'm not feeling that ecstasy. अभी इतना रो इतना सब किया फिर भी बोल रहे. Today I'm not feeling that ecstasy. You can imagine then what sort of ecstasy Mahaprabhu would be experiencing. Today I'm not feeling ecstasy. Hey Nitai Advaita, what do you say? I'm not feeling that ecstasy. And at this point, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati makes a very important point. Saraswati Thakur is having always a hammer when he's writing commentaries. जो भी पढ़ेगा ठाक उसकी सिर पे. Saraswati Thakur. I really love Saraswati Thakur. Amazing personality. So he says on this verse, he says, Yogis who are free from material activities and averse to Lord's name, form, qualities, associates, characteristics and pastimes do not have any information about love of Krishna. So there might be some very great personality having all those qualities that we discussed, the basic ones. Other people might glorify her. But they have no information about bhakti. They don't have information about love for Krishna. Therefore, even though they are exalted in material calculation, their aversion to love of God, which is transcendental to the four goals of life, devours them. They might be all good. Because sometimes people say, oh, these outside are so wonderful. Okay, they might have all these basic things that we discussed, but then since they are not inclined to bhakti, since they have no information about Krishna Prem, they will be devoured with time. Because this world is full of ignorance. And ignorance will go on increasing. Those qualities will not remain for long. Not remain for long. So at this point, again, Lord Chaitanya or Vishwambhar, maybe he asked Nitai, he asked Advaita, he asked everyone. Maybe he looked at Srivas now. Keha jani asi ache, badira bhitare, kichu nai bhuji, satya ka dekhi more. I cannot understand. Is there someone in this house? I don't know if you're saying, is someone there hiding? So Lord is having this wonderful mood. He's saying, is there anyone in this house who's not supposed to be here? But finally he says, Satya kaha dekhi more. Srivas, tell me the truth. At that time, Srivas, what do you think? Srivas was happy? What was the emotion of Srivas? What do you say? How do you know, man? You're correct. Srivas Thakur, what was the situation? Bhaya paya Srivasa baleva chana pashandera ithe prabhu nahi agamana. See, Srivas Thakur is actually in great fear. He's trembling. And what he says is, oh Lord, there is no atheist who has come into this place. Pashandera ithe prabhu nahi agamana. There is no Pashandera who has come to this place. Maybe Lord will be looking. Or batao. Then now he says, Sabeka brahmachari, bada subrahmana. But there's one brahmachari. Subrahmana, he's a very pious brahmana. Sarva kala paya pana nishpapa jivana. Oh Lord, this brahmachari is a brahmana, very nice brahmana. He's sinless and he drinks milk only. So at this point, Srivas Thakur is trying to build, see, he has to build this case. Because now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to thrash him. He has to build his case. He's building his case. Now he's saying, okay, all that is okay, Srivas, but why did you allow? Say, if this is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srivas Thakur is saying, Dekhite tumhara nritya, Shraddha taro bada, Nibrite ache Prabhu, Janiya cha dhada. Oh Lord, he had strong desire to see your dance. And you rightly asked the question, you rightly detected that he is in this house hiding. What do you think was the mood of Lord Chaitanya when he heard all this? What do you all say? Lord Chaitanya is Patita Pavan. Yes. What was the mood of Lord Chaitanya? Okay, I'll give you an option. Happy, sad, angry, neutral. Actually, angry. Someone is saying happy also. Lord was extremely angry. And see what happened. Shuni krodha veshe tabe bale vishwam bhar jhaat jhaat badir bahir lay kar. Nikal usko bahar yahan se. Out! Quickly take him out of this house. And now he says, oh, maybe that brahmachari got up and he started coming. I'm just imagining. He's coming. Looking at him, maybe Lord is saying, Mora nritya dekhite, uhara kon shakti, paya pan kari leki, mote hai bhakti. What qualification this person has? Only by drinking milk? He can watch my dance. Out! Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, when there is no guarantee that by only drinking uncooked milk one attains devotion to the Supreme Lord, then how can a non-devotee become eligible to seeing the dancing of the Lord? If a person is so austere, who is doing so much of austerity, who is so pure, that person is not allowed. The Lord is saying, Bhag yahan se. You're not allowed. Out! Then what to talk about non-devotees? What to talk about non-devotees? Hamara kya hoga? Because we have not yet become a devotee. We are still sadhakas. We are still struggling with our daily sadhana. We have not reached the platform of prema. What about us? What about us? And those foolish people who say, think good, do good. Everything is good. Life is meant to do this. Think good, do good. Idhar hai uska answer. Obviously, we need not give a class on this. Starting with Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya. But then we have to understand when people say that bas acha raho, acha karo, sab acha hai, sab acha ho jayega. Why that is not entertained in Shastra? Because that is not the qualification to attain Krishna. That is not the qualification to advance in bhakti. That will not help the person to break the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, our acharyas condemn, Are good chodo, good bhakti karo. What are you saying? Just do good, just do good. Good according to Shastra, which is in accordance with bhakti. That should be done. That is best. And that should be done. Therefore, it's very important to be sinless and practice bhakti. Just being sinless is not something that is entertained. That is not alone that is entertained. Because he was bereft of unalloyed devotional service, he developed a propensity for executing materialistic austerities. So since the person didn't have unalloyed devotional service, Saraswati Thakur is saying, therefore, he developed a propensity for executing material austerity. So just drinking milk and fruits, they're saying material austerity. Because there was no bhakti involved in that. It's not that he was drinking milk and eating fruits only so that he can save time and execute devotional service. He was just doing it with some materialistic austerity. Now that does not mean that if some brahmachari is doing this on a Ekadashi, taking only milk and fruits, another milk drinking brahmachari. No. On Ekadashi, one is expected to do nirjal. If you don't have capacity to do nirjal, just take fruits. If that is also difficult, take milk. And then after that comes all the allowable things. But no feast for sure. Yes. Because austerity on Ekadashi is considered to be bhakti. It's considered to be bhakti. Because on that day, devotees avoid their various necessities of body and they try their best to increase their sadhana bhakti. So that is glorified. But this is not glorified. Why? Because there is no bhakti involved in this. Just like that, he is just doing this austerity. All austerity is aimed at non-violence and imagined to be favorable to religious life according to ordinary consideration can never be steps to devotional service to the Lord. Inclination towards the service of the Supreme Lord and lording it over material nature are not equivalent. So the two are not same, Saraswati Thakur is saying. Two are not same. So at this point, maybe the brahmachari is standing in front of the Lord. This little difficult to digest, very heavy, Lord is very heavy. See what he did. Dui bhuja tuli prabhu, anguli dekhiya. And then the Lord said, Paya pane kabu more keha nahi paya. Just by drinking milk, you cannot attain me. Or you cannot attain me. You cannot attain my mercy. Lord is saying this. See, all this on the Lord's side. Think about what the brahmachari will be going through. Sorry, फिर से सपने में भी नहीं आऊंगा. बस मैं जाने दो अभी यहाँ से. I'll not come again. You see, it's not ordinary when Lord becomes angry. It's real anger. It's not some fake thing. So it's really very, very great anger. The same Narasimha is standing here as Gauranga Narasimha. He's so angry. And he's saying, no, you cannot. And specifically Vrindavan Thakur is saying, he raised both his hands and raised his fingers. And he said, no, you cannot attain my mercy. Then say, if brahmachari has a question mark on his face, then who can attain your mercy? Batao, who can attain your mercy? Then Lord is saying, Chandale o mohar sharana jadi lay, seha mora mohitar janiha nischay. Know for certain that if there is a Chandala, and if he surrenders to me, he is mine and I am his. So what is the qualification? Surrender. So one has to be sinless, and then on to that one has to surrender on to the Lord. That's the point that is made. So specifically here, Chandala does not mean that he is continuing to do sinful activities. Just to give that clarification, because someone might say, okay, Prabhuji, मैं तो चंडाल हूँ, but I'm surrendered. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. Saraswati Thakur is highlighting. Therefore, we need Acharya's commentaries, or else we will give our commentary. So Saraswati Thakur is saying, if by his past karma, human being takes birth in a degraded family, yet he has a strong inclination for service of the Supreme Lord, he is very dear to me. So if someone has taken birth in such a degraded family, therefore he is called as Chandal. But his activities are not sinful. He surrendered to the Lord, and Lord accepts no such a person. So Lord never entertains sinful activities of people and says that I'm surrendered. Because when someone says surrendered, it means all sins are removed at one go. I mean, all sinful activities and sinful desires are zero, it means. Because surrender itself means the 6 limbs of Sharanagati. So, see, Sharanagati itself, so this boy was asking me, Bro, ये important to surrender है ना? अभी वो क्या करता है, वो कितना important है? No, your activities, if you say that you're surrendered, your activities in accordance with the limbs of surrender. So what are the 6 limbs of surrender? Anukulya se sankalpa. I will do only those things that Krishna wants me to do or Krishna likes. Only that I will do. Second, pratikulya se varjanam. I will not do anything that is forbidden by Krishna in the Shastra. Then third, rakshishiti te vishwasaha. I'll have complete faith that Krishna will protect me in every situation. Even when I'm laid off from the job, Krishna will protect me. The person will not be too much in anxiety. Yes. Gopatratve varnam tata. Maintenance. Lord will maintain me. It's not that some people, these mortal beings are maintaining me. Lord will maintain me. This is the confidence that the devotee has who is Sharanagat, who has taken shelter of the Lord, who is surrendered to the Lord. Atma Nikshepa. And I depend only on Krishna for my advancement in bhakti. I don't depend on anyone else. And Karpanya, the person is humble. Understanding that Lord is great, I am chutku. I'm nowhere in front of the Lord. I'm nowhere in front of the Lord. So this is the mood. So these are called as 6 limbs of surrender. So as soon as someone says that I'm surrendered to the Lord, that itself means he is following the 6 limbs of surrender. Nowadays, when we speak to newcomers and they say, I'm surrendered, I get irritated. I just smile. But internally, I have like, ऐसे कुछ लेके सिर पे मारो. Sir, under. Yes. Literally, sometimes, I feel, but then, just feeling pity on the other person that he does not know the meaning of surrender. And we keep quiet. Yes. But otherwise, at least the devotees or sadhakas who are practicing for quite some time, we should know what it means by the word surrender. Just like that saying, I'm surrendered. But still, why Krishna is not taking care of me? Useless fellow. Where are you surrendered? Where are you surrendered? Your activity itself shows that you're not surrendered. Right? So we have to analyze like that for our own self. Unnecessarily, we shouldn't put the blame on Krishna. That I'm fully surrendered, but still Krishna is not doing this for me and that for me and things like that. So here, Lord is telling, even a Chandala who surrenders unto me, I am his and he is mine. So wonderful. So therefore, this is the dialogue which brahmacharis can have towards the Lord. Because to someone you have to tell this dialogue. If you cannot tell this dialogue to opposite gender because you are brahmachari, no problem. Tell it to the Lord. I am yours and you are mine. So nice. So nice. That thick relationship has to be developed, with the Lord. And your Lord is saying, a surrendered devotee will do that. A surrendered soul will do that. But one point he says, Sannyasi o moro jadi, nalay sharan, sneha mora nai satya, balilon vachan. I'm telling you the truth. Brahmachari, here, I'm telling you the truth. Aap log kyun dar gaye? Lord is telling the brahmachari, I'm telling you the truth. What is the truth? Even a sannyasi, if he is not surrendered unto me, he is not mine. Externally, he might be a sannyasi, but if he is not surrendered, he is not mine. Externally, you are wearing dhoti, kurta, tilak, and if you are not surrendered, you are not mine. It's very clear. Very clear. Then Lord started giving a class now after this. Gajendra Vanara Gope, ki tapakarila, bala dekhi tara more, ki mate paila. Tell me, a brahmachari, tell me, what austerity Gajendra did? What did the Vanar Sena did? Those Vanaras, what austerity they did? What did these coward boys did in Dwapar Yuga? What did they do? What sort of austerities? And then he says, Asure o tapa kare, ki hoy tahar, vine more, sharana laile nahi par. Even demons perform austerities, you demon brahmachari. Can you, usko kya hota rahega? Just imagine. Even demons perform austerities. But what is the result of that? What is the result? Unless they take shelter of me, they cannot be delivered. They cannot be delivered. वो बेचारा सोचता रहेगा गलती किया मैंने पूरा लाइफ ऑस्टेरिटी करके बट गलती ऑस्टेरिटी नहीं था व्हाट वाज द गलती he was not doing bhakti. That was the gulti. Austerity is always welcome. Everyone should do austerity. That person who does not do tapasya cannot advance in any transcendental path. Jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, bhakti yoga, you cannot anyways. So austerity is not a problem, but zero bhakti is the problem. There's a nice shloka from Padyavali. Very beautiful verse. Vyadhasya charanam dhruvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubjaya kyumanama rupam adhikam kim tat sudhamno dhanam vamsha ko vidurasya yadavapater ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunair bhakti priyo madhava. Very beautiful shloka. Here it says, what is that attracts mercy of Krishna? What is that attracts the heart of Krishna? The examples are given. That did the hunter named Dharma had any piety? This is the question that was asked. There looks like there was some hunter who attained Krishna. Did he have some piety? He was hunting. Second, Dhruvasya Chavayo. Was age is age a restriction to attain Shuddha Bhakti? If that is the case, how did Dhruva attain Shuddha Bhakti? Vidya Gajendrasya kya? So, if knowledge is the qualification, only knowledge is the qualification, then what knowledge did Gajendra have? Kubjaya Kimo. So, if beauty is the qualification, then what qualification or what beauty did Kubja in Mathura she had? He is saying, Nama Rupa Madhikam Tat Sudhamno Dhanam. If wealth is a qualification to attain Shuddha Bhakti, then what dhan, what wealth Sudama had? Krishna's friend Sudama, what dhana he had? Vamsha ko vidurasya. And if taking birth in a high family, because sometimes people say only if you take birth in Brahmana family you will get delivered. If that is the qualification, then which kula did Vidura take birth? He was born, to a Shudrani. Ugrasya kim paurusham. If strength is the qualification, then how did Ugrasen Maharaj, Kamsa put him behind the bars? How did he attain Shuddha Bhakti then? Therefore, finally the conclusion is, all this is not the qualification. The only qualification is Bhaktya Tushyati Kevalam Nacha Gunair Bhakti Priyo Madhava. Madhava, Krishna is pleased only by bhakti and is not pleased by any material qualities. This is the final statement. Finally, final statement of the Lord, when Brahmachari is standing there, Prabhu bole paya paane, bole nahi paaye, sakala karimo, churna dekhi be ithai. He is saying, just by drinking milk, you cannot attain me. I will show you right now by smashing you into pieces. And Brahmachari Bhagyavas ran out from there. Yes. He was very, very fearful. Sober brahmachari, sober brahmana. But he started thinking to himself. ऐसा नहीं कि बाहर जाके बाहर देखूंगा तुझे. That was not the mood of the brahmana, the brahmachari. He went outside and he had an amazing mood. Very wonderful mood. Which all of us have to learn. What was the mood that this brahmachari had? Ei bada bhagya moi. This brahmachari is thinking. Ei bada bhagya moi. Ei kichu dekhilun aparada anurupa shasti opailun. He is saying that I'm so fortunate. Can you imagine this? Itna gali khaya. And he's saying I'm so fortunate. Why I'm so fortunate? Two things he's saying. First he is saying, kichu dekhilun. I was able to see something. I was able to see something. And second thing he's saying, that, and I also received appropriate punishment. This is the mood of a person who is advancing in bhakti. When someone receives punishment, ऐसा नहीं कि गरज रख रहा है एकदम. Next time इसको पकड़ूंगा. बड़ा authority बन के घूम रहा है. Can you imagine? He is saying that, oh, I'm so fortunate. I received punishment. And he's saying appropriate punishment. Adbhuta dekhilo nritya, adbhuta kirtan. He's remembering. चुपके चुपके जो भी देखा था उसने, he's remembering all that. Oh, अद्भुत नृत्य, अद्भुत कीर्तन, अद्भुत. Aparadanurupa pailu tarjan. And I was punished according to my offense. He's accepting this very important thing. So why was this brahmachari removed like this? Why was he punished like this? Saraswati Thakur is highlighting, he says, the austere brahmachari was an impersonalist. That was the problem. Bhakti to nahi kar raha tha. But uske saath saath, why? Because if someone is not doing bhakti, it's still okay. Itna heavy kyun? Because at one point he's saying even demons did austerity. Lord said that. Why? Because this brahmachari was an impersonalist. As a result of receiving punishment in the form of Sri Gaur Sundar's chastisement, the impersonalistic brahmachari became enlightened. This is the power of chastisement of the Lord. Because impersonalists start thinking like this, Adbhut Kirtan, Adbhut Nritya is not easy. Because for them they say, kya faltu sentiment hai sab. That's what is their mood. But how is it that this brahmachari is able to appreciate? Because he received mercy of Gauranga in the form of chastisement. Specifically, one point that we see in the mood of the brahmachari here. Three things we see in the brahmachari's mood. One is humility of the brahmachari. He didn't argue with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He didn't put blame on others. मैं तो बस एक बार पूछा, ये श्रीवास तो ले लिया मुझे अंदर, इसको बोलो, मुझे क्यों इतना बोल रहे हो? He's not blaming. See, one thing that we see is, as soon as we are caught, like the brahmachari is caught, as soon as we are caught, the first thing is we start escaping somehow. Blame game start. इसने किया, उसने किया, इसने किया, and then we try justifying. But a person who is humble, and if he is at mistake, if he has done something which is incorrect, a humble person will accept, and we see the brahmachari is accepted. That shows his humility. Humility attracts the heart of the Lord. Second quality that we see in this brahmachari is, he is saying, I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate I was allowed to see that Adbhut Kirtan, Adbhut Nritya. I'm so fortunate. He's not thinking about kitna gali mila. He's thinking about what he was able to see. This is the second quality, that is gratitude. He was so grateful. He was so grateful. I'm not qualified, but still I was allowed to see. Still I was allowed to see. Gratitude. And third thing that we can see is, in this brahmachari, he accepted the punishment because he's already repenting. In that repenting mode, he accepted the punishment. So the quality of repentance when the person does a mistake. So humility, gratitude and repentance. These are three jewels which decorate the devotee. The devotee looks very beautiful with these three. And these three are there, naturally, that person will attract the mercy of the Lord. So at this point, Vrindavan Thakur is making a very important point. He says, Sevaka haile ei mata buddhi hoy, se sevake se prabhur sakala danda soy. Only a servant of the Lord develops such a mentality. Vrindavan Thakur is saying, wow. So wonderful. Vrindavan Thakur is saying, only a servant of the Lord develops such a mentality. What mentality? He is able to tolerate the chastisement of the Lord. Only a servant can do this. Only a servant can do this. Saraswati Thakur is highlighting, because of self-realization, persons whose heart are constantly engaged in service of Supreme Lord never express displeasure in any of Lord's actions. Considering themselves fit for punishment, such persons respectfully accept the Lord's judgment and remember their previous offenses. This is the mode of a devotee, where anything that happens in his life, if he is a proper devotee, anything that happens in his life, he will never express displeasure saying, why Lord is doing this to me? He will take it as Lord's plan. He'll take it as Lord's plan. If I'm not wrong, many great souls who stay in dhams, there is extreme heat and cold. So in extreme cold, they say this is the cool embrace of Krishna. In extreme heat, they say this warm embrace of Krishna. They don't complain. They don't complain. Therefore, Brahma, remembering this, he glorifies the devotees. The 10th canto, chapter 14, shloka 8. Please repeat. Tatte nukampa sushamiksha mano Bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam ritvakvapurbhir ridadan namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadhaya bhav. Very beautiful shloka. It says that when a devotee goes through some trouble in his life, what is his mood? He accepts that situation as the mercy of Krishna, anukampa. And what is the thing that he thinks? Why is he suffering? He says, it's my own karma. I'm suffering because of my own past deeds. Bhagwan ka kya hai isme? Yes. But his mood is, Lord is so merciful. I was supposed to receive this much, but I have received only this much punishment. Ideally, I should have died, but only I have got hand fracture. That's it. That's the mood of such devotees. And in that very, very rough patch of life, when the devotee is going through a lot of suffering, a lot of problem, at that time also, the devotee continues practicing bhakti more intensely. How you know? Hrit, Vak, Vapu. Using his body, he renders service. Using his speech, he renders service. And in his heart also, he renders service to the Lord. Means, externally is rendering service and internally is thinking, पता नहीं ये सब तो कर रहा हूं लेकिन मेरे साथ ये सब क्यों हो रहा है? He continues to render service. This is the qualification of a great soul. Even in great turmoil in life, he'll never pause or stop his devotional service. Whereas a neophyte, when situations are good, when there's promotions in the job, we say, ekdam, rounds are increasing. And as soon as laid off from the job, tap, bhakti out. Anyone dies in the family, tap, bhakti out. This is what is a neophyte. Therefore, if we want to really advance in bhakti, uninterrupted bhakti we should do. Kuch bhi ho jaye life mein. Anything happens in life, bhakti cannot be paused. Bhakti cannot stop. Doesn't matter what happens in life, bhakti cannot stop. You have severe health crisis, no problem. Someone dies in your family, no problem. You lose all your possessions, no problem. Bhakti cannot stop. It should go on. I always tell the devotees, in such situations, do bhakti so intensely that Lord should also cry, bas, kitna bhakti karega? Bas. Even in such a rough patch of life, you're doing so much bhakti, chalo, let's go to Golok. I think it's worth to tolerate the rough patch of our life and continue smoothly practicing bhakti. It's worth. Because that will attract Krishna's mercy. And here, look at this brahmachari. He accepted the chastisement of the Lord and he wanted to improve on the same. So at this point, because brahmachari went out, he was thinking all this. Question. Lord was knowing what brahmachari was thinking? Yes. Sure? Yes. Lord was knowing. He understood that. And immediately Lord did something. What he did? Dakiya aniya puna karuna sagar. Usko bula ke lao. Now devotees might be thinking, abhi to bhagaya, fir se bula. I don't know if some devotees there might be thinking, maybe Mahaprabhu is not satisfied showing his anger. Gali khatam nahi, le usko office. You see, no one knows why Mahaprabhu is calling. What is? Le kya usko? Call him. And the Brahmana was back. And then in front of everyone, what did Lord do? Pada Padma Dilatara Mastaka Upar. Lord kept his lotus feet on the head of the milk drinking brahmachari. Hariva! I don't know what other devotees were there around. I'm sure they were very happy, but they were wondering, Abhitna Gali ji, mercy, what is it? But see, outside no one would be able to understand, but Lord understands internally what is the mood. And that internal mood attracts the mercy of the Lord. Always remember this. Humility, gratitude, repentance attracted the mercy of the Lord. So wonderful. So wonderful. Look at this. And at this point, Lord gave an instruction. Prabhu bale tapa kari na kara bala Vishnu bhakti sarva shreshta janah kevala. Don't be proud of your austerity, Lord is telling. It looks like the brahmachari was proud of his austerity also. He was an impersonalist, no bhakti, and he was proud of austerity. So Lord is saying, don't be proud of austerity. Actually, Lord does not like this pride. Very easy to say, sitting on Vyasasana, but very difficult to curb the pride at times. Lord does not like pride. And He is explicitly saying, don't be proud. And specifically He is saying austerity. And He is saying that Vishnu Bhakti Sarva Shrestha. Jaan lo. What is Sarva Shrestha? Vishnu Bhakti. Remember this. So at this point, all the devotees are ecstatic. Ecstatic. Ananda krandana kare sei vipravara prabhura karuna guna smare nirantara. So others, before coming to others, here Vrindavan Thakur is describing what happened to the brahmachari. Brahmachari went ecstatic. He started crying tears. And he was remembering all the merciful nature of the Lord, the merciful qualities of the Lord. Because naturally he was humble. So he had this point that I'm so disqualified, but still Lord has showered His mercy onto me. And he's crying in ecstasy. And all the devotees around, they were so jubilant looking at this interaction. this reciprocation of the Lord towards this new bhakta, that all of them, they went jubilant and they all shouted, Haribol! I'm sure it was very loud. Since we're not able to see, so our volume is not that loud. That's okay. At this point, brahmachari prati kripa Karya Thakur Ananda Aveshe Nritya Karena Prachur. After bestowing the mercy on brahmachari, Lord profusely danced in ecstasy. Question. Was brahmachari sent out and the doors were closed while starting dance, or in front of the brahmachari this dance started? What do you say? He was sent out? Now the brahmachari was part of that team. Wow. Now, I think every day you would say, pass hai mere paas. I don't think he'll be telling you, choda andar le lo, paas hai mere paas. Yes. So, at this point, Srila Vrindavan Thakur, he has narrated all the pastime. See, when the personalities, when they, exalted personalities, when they narrate the pastimes, they're into the pastime. So here Vrindavan Thakur is into the pastime. And since he's there into the pastime, Vrindavan Thakur, he is saying, Say Dvija Charane Amar Namaskar Chaitanyera Dande Haila Hena Buddhijar. He's saying, I offer my obeisances. To whom? To that brahmachari. Because everyone there was offering obeisances to this brahmachari. So Vrindavan Thakur is also offering obeisance to brahmachari, saying, my obeisances to this brahmachari, whose heart was transformed by the chastisement of Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, one point to note here, anyone who advances in bhakti, we should never discuss his past. Bhale wo kitna bhi ganda ho pehle. But if he is now practicing bhakti very nicely, we should not ever discuss saying, abhi to nautanki kar raha hai, pata hai pehle kaise tha? This is an offense. It is an offense. Yes. So never ever it should happen that devotees come together and start discussing that what he was doing before. How does it really matter? Now he is standing 16 rounds, he is following 4 relative principles, he is aspiring to attain Krishna in one life. Why are you talking about his past now? What is the need? This is a very important point for all the counselors also, all the leaders. That say someone comes and he confesses that Prabhuji, I have done so and so sinful activity. First point, such mentors and counselors should keep it very confidential. Kisi ko nahi pata chalna chahiye that what sin the person has done. Second, those mentors and counselors, they should forget what he has done, because he has confessed and he is acting on the right path to advance in bhakti. Never in future it should happen that when you are angry on that person, you say, you sinful person, yaad hai wo kya kiya tha tune? That will destroy the person completely, shatter the person completely. Never ever it should happen that any mentor, any counselor speaks like this. Firstly, he should hear and keep it confidential. Second, never ever he should remember that. Bas wo interaction ho gaya, you gave solution, he started acting on it, forget about it completely. Third, in any situation, in future, never ever repeat that. I mean, never speak out this particular thing. So these are 3 things, which the counselor the guides should do, who take the role of a mentor, senior mentor, counselor, shiksha guru, whatever you call it as. This is something that the person should do. Very, very important. Finally, Vrindavan Thakur, he ends the katha by saying, what will those people get who hear this katha? Are you all ready? Yes. All the ones who are awake in the katha, they will get this. I saw everyone was awake. So everyone will get this. Shraddha kari jai shune esabar hasya. Anyone who faithfully hears these confidential pastimes, Gaura Chandra Prabhu Tare Milibe Avashya. And that person will surely attain the lotus feet of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki! So in this way we see that how wonderfully this brahmachari attained the mercy of the Lord. So walking in the footsteps of this brahmachari, all of us can also advance on the path of Krishna consciousness. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki